And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he will lose yardage. To the 24. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. Clayton. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there and a Lion first down.
A nice completion there for the first down. And Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game, has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day one.
Boy, the run on first down, a disaster as he's tackled well behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Off play action. Clayton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice short tackle.
Well, a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. Here comes the Lions punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards.
And the Texans will take over.
Let's go now.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
7 yards there and a first down.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
Yeah, 1 for 1. A lot more to go.
They'll get it across the 35. It'll be second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 7 yards there and a first down.
Ready?
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Operating from the gun. Hart. He finds his man, complete. It's Craig. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now third down and 6 to go.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
Off the play fake. Hart. He finds his man, complete. That's Strickland. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 18. 11 more yards there. This methodical drive continues. This is shaping up to be a really nice-looking drive to get the season underway here.
And how long do you think that they actually have been plotting this drive? I'm talking about the coaching staff, right? They've been thinking about this for a while now, and I think they're executing it even better than what they expected.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. No score after 1 on EA Sports. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal. He wanted that end zone. Powerful running, but he couldn't quite get there.
And that's going to really make him upset. And right now, there's no way he's letting a coach take him out of the game. He's going to want the ball again, so he actually does get into the end zone, hopefully on his next carry.
Back to throw. Hart. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line.
70.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans post the first points of the ballgame as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook, not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
On the return, it's Tristan Ebner from his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And now off to the races down the right side. He will take this all the way. Touchdown, Lions.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They were successful last time finding the end zone on their opening drive of the season, and they'll get another shot here with 1st and 10. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Never make the mistake of the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here. They're just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. They found his way into the backfield, and he simply would not be denied.
Well, they say that life's all about opportunities, and that holds true when you're playing defense as well. How about him seeing that chance, making the most of it, did a great job of wrapping him up and bringing him down.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
This is fielded at the 7. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a 1st and 10. And some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. 70 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener.
And look at that. I'd say somebody's already in mid-season form here in game number 1.
Doesn't need a whole lot of carries in the preseason, does he? He needs to get the ball when it counts. And when it does, he makes it count.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Ball at the 9 on 2nd and 8. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
On third down, Clayton.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Derwin James with a pick.
And the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw something away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
Tackle made there by the UCF man, Mike Hughes.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half. And if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
Wishnowski on to punt as he sends this one away.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40.
It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
He finds his man, complete. It's Moreno. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
And he'll send the tight end in motion here. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half.
Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And that is no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Off play action. Hart. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field have covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's a give up the middle. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And we'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the 3rd quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee Wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
60 Vikings.
On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
So a bold call, but this drive will forge on. 1st and 10 after the 4th down conversion.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the 2nd time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Off the play fake. Hart. He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Lions will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a 2nd season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, give him credit for trying, but there's no fooling the defense with that call. They were reading run, and they set up to stuff the run, and then executed.
Off play action. Clayton. He's going to let it go deep from Mitchell. That's caught inside the 20.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
From From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Looking to throw. Clayton. He's going to have the hook up to Ross. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at third down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
The tight end in motion right.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit.
Treston Ebner.
Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend.
And the Lions have taken the lead.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Here are the Lions now as they line up and kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this. The end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
So the offense back out now, coming off its first interception of the game the last time out, trying to reestablish some momentum here, Charles. But they're trailing defensively. Maybe these guys smelling the blood in the water a little bit.
Yeah, I think that they probably are. But what they need to do right now is just make sure they don't force the action too much themselves. They've got them on the run a little bit. You just want to be in a position where if they make another mistake, you're there to capitalize on it and take it away from them.
Throwing on first down. Hard. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
On first down. Hard. And it's intercepted.
And the Lions are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
Well, CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Ahead of the chains now, 2nd and 2.
Now they'll run on the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. Back to throw. Clayton. And that will be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The lone second remains now in this third quarter. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Off the play fake. Hart. Forced out to his left. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this up to about the 40. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go now.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Craig.
And he is going to have the Texans first down as they find a way to convert on 4th and 10.
Operating from the gun. Hart throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Now a dump off here complete. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw. Hart. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. A 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks.
I like what I'm seeing from them here. Tie game in the fourth quarter. They understand the situation. They don't need to be in any rush. Go ahead and huddle up and run your offense. That last completion put them in a nice position to take the lead in this game.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
93 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Another carry for their leader, and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try to snatch a victory.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
Down to the 42, second down.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. A handoff as they run the counter play. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Big third down. A field goal from this spot, 57 yards as they hope to move it a little closer. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So third down, but you got to think they'd like to get closer, even in a dome with good kicking conditions for a possible field goal. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. Touchdown, Detroit.
Treston Ebner with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Lions answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth.
Important extra point up and through. And the lead is now 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a...
On a bad time late for a poor throw. It's intercepted.
Picked up by Mike Hughes. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag. They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's third down.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Hart. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it.
And the Lions are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield.
Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
And the Texans are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result could be something you don't like.
Let's go now.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Hart.
And this one into the hands of Mechie.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Lions, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Houston, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road.